What is up, guys? This is gonna be my review of tonight's Raw, which I thought was just great. I really enjoyed it. You cannot get this smile off my face, especially the ending. Um, I mean, just fucking Miz looking like a more than legit main eventer now. I mean, this was just awesome. No pun intended again, but the only way to describe anything with the Miz is awesome. It really is. But let's get to the review. Overall, before I get into it, actually, it was a good show. The Sheamus Daniel Bryan match was pretty good. Other than that, there weren't really any other matches. There wasn't a lot of wrestling tonight. It was just more, WrestleMania build up with promos and talking and whatnot. But it was actually entertaining. And Snooki, I mean, she wasn't even half bad. I enjoyed her tonight. I'm not even gonna lie. So I'm just gonna get into it. So Raw opens up with The Rock. Looks like he's at his house in L.A. and he's on the phone with Mr. President. I obviously doubt it, but he's in his house, and then Cena's music hits, and you see Rock saying, "Oh, John Cena, I'm glad you showed up." And it's a little kid in Cena dressed in Cena gear, and that kid looked really familiar. I said to myself, "I've seen this kid somewhere before." Turns out this kid is like YouTube sensation. I think his name is Matty B. He's only like 5 or 6 years old, I think. Which is perfect for a kid, perfect to dress in Cena gear because that's what his fan base is. But yeah, that was just. I thought I'd seen that kid, but anyway, the kid did a good job. So the kid walks in and he's portraying Cena, obviously, and he does his "You can't see me" or whatever, and hustle, loyalty, respect. And Rock tells John Cena that he's not from the streets, and you're not a rapper, you're not gangster, or whatever. And the kid says, "You want some? Come get some." And Rock says, "All right, John, I think it's time we have a talk." And says, "When I left WWE 7 years ago," he's like, "you picked up the ball and ran with it, kinda." He says, "You had success, like all the success and whatnot." And Rock, that basically makes fun of Cena's demographic. He's like, "We all know." He's like, "You open the door for your fans. Like, we all know your fan base is between the ages of 2 and 5," which I couldn't help but laugh because finally it's about time someone actually says this on Raw or something. Like, it's just a long time coming. I enjoyed every minute of this. Yeah. So then, Rock asks Little Cena why he's never be as good as The Rock, and the kid says, "Cause I'm not that talented." You're damn fucking straight. Oh man, it was just awesome. And then Rock asks Little Cena how it makes him feel, and before obviously he could say anything, "It doesn't matter how you feel," and the kid starts to cry. And Rock says, "Oh, come on, we all watched your crappy movies, none of us cried," or whatever, and just shitting on Cena in every angle. I just love it. And Rock says, "Well, I've got some for you to make you feel better." Pulls out a box of Fruity Pebbles, and the kid gets all happy. And is it your favorite cartoon character, Fred Flintstone, on the cover? It's just awesome. I mean, I couldn't get enough of this segment. It was just great. Um, Basically, he calls Cena an untalented Fruit Loop, and then he turns as the kid like runs away. Rock tells him to go away, and then Rock turns his attention to Miz. Says, "Rock, you are the WWE. You were right. We haven't been properly introduced. You are the WWE champion, but I'm the Rock, the People's Champion." And basically cuts a little promo on Miz and talks about how he mentioned his family, and that was not a good idea. And he said, "The Miz and Cena, time for talking is over." Rock says he'll be on Raw live before WrestleMania is. I'm not going to tell you when. I'm not going to tell you where. Tell Cena to shut his mouth. Just shut your mouth and know your role. That's right, Cena. Know your fucking role. Shut your mouth. Um, and then he tells, yeah, and basically tells Miz that you've been invited to the biggest ass whooping of all time. Ends the segment with, "If you smell what The Rock is cooking." Then King and Josh Matthews are ringside welcoming us to St. Louis, and Cole is in a glass cube. Well, there's no ceiling to it, but he's basically in a fucking cubicle. I was laughing my ass off. He had his own little monitor in there, his Slammy trophy, little desk set up and he just looked like such a pussy. Then we see Trish backstage with Snooki. They're like checking out Trish's iPhone. It's pretty cool, I guess. wow, I didn't. Snooki is fucking tiny. I'll get to that later. And then Miz to the ring. He gets on the mic, says, really, really, cuts a promo on The Rock, and he basically calls him a has-been. Says he's better than The Rock's dad and grandpa. He tells The Rock he's going to make you, he's like, Rock, I'll make you cry if you step in. You like to make little kids cry? Well, I'll step into this ring, I'll make you cry like a little girl. And, he says, I don't talk, Rock. I beat John Cena up like 3 weeks in a row. That's what I've done. Then he tells the fans they don't phase him, and he tells The Rock if he does bring it, he'll be overshadowed by the most WWE must-see WWE champion in history. An email comes in, and Cole leaves the box. His fucking cage ends up reading, and King cuts him up, ends up reading the email, and he says, I think your cage has been cleaned out, Cole. You can go back to it. And all night you can hear people like, back to your cage, rat. Like talking. Cole's just fucking great. And then says tonight it'll be Cena versus, and Miz will face opponents they've never faced before. It'll be Cena versus Alberto Del Rio. And right away I was like, well, it's going to be Cena burying Del Rio. And then Miz versus this man. I thought maybe it'd be Triple H, but it was the Great Khali. Speaking of Triple H, he wasn't on Raw again. Like, I know you're trying to have this epic match with Undertaker WrestleMania, but I mean, come on, at least be on Mania and Raw and wrestle and shit. Especially if you're retiring after WrestleMania and we don't get to see you wrestle until WrestleMania, then you're done. I'm gonna be fucking pissed. But so yeah, then Miz. Yeah, so then Great Khali comes out. We go to commercial. Back to commercial. Miz versus Great Khali. The match ends in about 2 seconds after Alex Riley interferes. And then Khali hits that two-handed choke slam, Punjabi plunge or whatever. And he beats Khali down on a steel chair. And then Miz just beat the hell out of Khali in the back of the steel chair. And Khali's lower back actually got busted open. Blood was leaking onto the mat. It's cool. Just to see blood from anywhere. Miz then did, the DDT while the big Khali was on his knees. It was like the swing foot, like DDT, kind of like what Lita used to do, except Khali was on his knees onto the steel chair. Miz just beat the hell out of him on the steel chair. The chair like literally broke. Miz was holding like pieces of it. And then, so Miz is posing on the ramp of the chair, and Rajan Singh and the referee, Charles Robinson, are checking on Khali. Cole then says tonight he'll interview someone who will expose King for what he is. We go to commercial. Back from commercial, Lawler, King, and Josh Matthews hype Triple H for his take at WrestleMania. And then we see the video package that Triple H showed Friday on SmackDown, just of him. It's pretty cool. Then backstage, you see John Morrison talking to Snooki. And Vicky Guerrero and Dolph Ziggler walk up, and Vicky, talks shit to her. She tells Snooki, you think you're cool for being the cover of like the it girl for being on the cover of Rolling Stone? She says, well, I was offered the cover of Playboy, and Snooki says, wow, really? She's like, must have been a centerfold because you can't fit all that on there, honey. And that's good stuff. Then Vicky tried to slap Snooki, and she blocked it and slapped Vicky back, and Morrison and Snooki walk away. It's good shit. And then, so we go to commercial, back from commercial. Next match is for the United States Championship. Well, I was pumped to see this. And then shows Sheamus out first, and he's basically back to Sheamus. I mean, his tight Mini-Tron still says King Sheamus, but Justin Roberts just introduced him as Sheamus. So I'm glad he's just going back to Celtic Warrior. Enough of this King of the Ring shit. So yeah. Oh, so Sheamus out first, and followed by Daniel Bryan with Gail Kim. God, just please change your theme, Daniel Bryan. Like, really? Then Sheamus ends up winning a pretty good match, and he's the new United States champion. Hit a brogue kick in midair to Daniel Bryan when he was coming down. Got the 3. So it was pretty cool to see Sheamus, the new United States champion. It's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, so I'm happy to see Sheamus get back on track. And, U.S. champion add another title to his, future Hall of Fame resume, I guess you could say. So I'm hoping this feud continues, though. Like, they have a couple, maybe a match or two more in the next few weeks, or they just talk, like, cut promos or whatever. I just hope they have a match at WrestleMania. I kind of wish, like, Daniel Bryan would win, but then Sheamus, said, no, I didn't quit or whatever, and then they'd have the match. Then Sheamus would win the title at WrestleMania, but I just don't understand why they'd wait to do this on Raw, not at WrestleMania, but whatever. After the match, Sheamus kind of just holds the title in Daniel Bryan's face on the ground and talks shit to him, kind of just, pushes his head aside. So I think it's definitely going to be a feud coming up the next few weeks. Then Cole gets on the mic again, talks about he's going to bring down a king by bringing out a certain someone next. So we go to commercial. And back from commercial, we see what Stone Cold did to Cole last week. Then Cole guarantees that Stone Cold will have a minimal effect at WrestleMania when he beats King. Cole says that tonight King's family is going to instead of talking about King's family, tonight King's family is going to talk about him. Then out comes King's son, Brian Christopher, a.k.a. Grandmaster Sexay. I was like, holy shit. And my God, you could hear a pin drop in the crowd. I didn't see anyone, clapping or hopping up and down. These idiots are just standing there like, who the hell is this guy? Grandmaster Sexay, back in the Attitude Era, was a pretty successful tag team with Too Cool with Scotty 2 Hotty. Pretty talented worker, in my opinion. It really is a fucking shame that in my opinion, these last three crowds, honestly, in Raw have fucking sucked. Yeah, besides the ovation Orton got tonight and a couple other things, the crowd was alright. But I mean, I'll get to that soon. For Trish, it was just fucking dead. That Buffalo crowd a couple weeks ago made me want to vomit blood. I mean, God, these fucking crowds suck, man. It was Brian Grandmaster Sexay, and I didn't hear one clap or anything. But he comes out, he's like this to his music and shit, and he's dancing his way down the ring like he used to, which is pretty cool. These fucking fans, all I see are orange and purple shirts. Thanks to who? Fucking Fruity Pebble. So yeah, it's Brian Christopher, and Cole asks Grandmaster Sexay why he's never gone by Brian Lawler, and he says because while he was growing up, he felt like I didn't have a father, with my dad traveling everywhere, and he says while he was traveling the world, he neglected the one thing, me. And Sexay says King never wanted a child. He says when he made it to WWE, King never even acknowledged him as his son, which is kind of true. King tells him he's a bigger screw up than King tells Grandmaster Sexay he's a bigger screw up than Charlie Sheen, which ouch. I still don't understand that why King doesn't like him. It is his actual son, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is. Then Sexay asks, how does it feel that he competed at WrestleMania before he ever did? And he shoves King, not slaps his face, but kind of pie faces him a couple times. Yeah, I'm sure. Dwight Howard hitting a 10-foot jump shot. Give me a break. Anyway, and then Sexay says the reason he never used the name Lawler is because he was ashamed of King. And then so Grandmaster Sexay walks away. And Cole calls King a coward and says at WrestleMania he's going to put him in his place. And then out comes JR. Oh, man, I got to admit I marked out for a bit. This was awesome to see. It's always great to see JR. Good ovation. Great ovation for JR. JR gets the ring and says to Cole, don't you think you've gone far enough? Tells Cole, yeah, he's gone far enough. Cole tells JR to go away and that this is his show now. He's the voice of the WWE, Michael Cole. JR tells Cole he's been meaning to talk to him about that, and JR, puts over him and King calling matches over the years. And JR says the voice of the WWE are the WWE fans, which is true, because, without us, none of these motherfuckers would even be known. Then JR tells Cole that King's been carrying him for a long time, like a mother kangaroo carrying her baby in her pouch. Speak the truth, JR. Preach on. And then JR calls Cole a rat bastard. Bye-bye, PG. Bye-bye. That was really good to see. And Cole says JR ran away with his tail between his legs. And JR gets back in the ring, takes off his cowboy hat, takes off his tie, his jacket. He's ready to fight. And Cole takes his shit off too, which is like, oh, Cole actually manning up. And then you see in the back Jack Swagger come through the crowd and attacks King at the announcer's table. Swagger comes in the ring, puts JR in the ankle lock. I was so pissed about that. Fucking bullshit. Then King came back into the ring and attacked Swagger. Then Cole jumped on his back and King got taken out by Swagger. And then Swagger put him in the ankle lock. And then Cole put JR in the ankle lock for a little bit. And I was like, really? Are you fucking kidding me? This made me want to punch someone. I really hate Cole. I mean, I don't care if it's his act, he's just being a heel. I mean, in my opinion, he's overdoes it sometimes, and he's a fucking loser. And I actually would not even, I would love to see him get hit by a train. Stick around for part 2. Peace.